To you, Libras. So I took my test again. I failed. But what I realized about it, taking it online, is that it's cap. Because what I found out to be true, right? What I found out to be true, right? Just based upon me being a Virgo and paying attention to patterns and stuff like this, it's 105 questions, it's 2 hours. One thing that I realized is that it's going to ask me questions based upon the answers that I give. So the 105 questions is not something that legitimately is made, where it's something that is concise. It does not change depending on your answers. It does not change. That's not that. It does change depending on your answers. So I'm realizing that that's the cap in it, because that's what makes up the 105 questions. It's not actually fair. It's not concise. The questions that it's asking is not actually based upon it to test your general knowledge for real, for real. It's just there for filling up space. And so that's where the points distribution is. It's asking you questions based upon it's asking you questions. I'm gonna get into it, but this reading will just be longer. But it's asking me questions and giving me more points based upon the subjects that it's actually going over that I'm answering correctly. But the overall points is based upon how many questions it's asking me, because it keeps looping and giving me the same questions over and over. So it's not real. So I'm gonna take it in person and see what the score is, because if it's laid out in front of me and it does not change, the questions does not change, that should be able to actually give me a legitimate answer as to, because it's solid, right? It's not a moving goalpost. But anyway, so for you, Libra, sorry about that, right? I just wanted to share it with you, right? Share my progress. So for you, Libras, y'all are in a situation, excuse me, you have the Scorpio energy, the Nine of Swords, and then you have the Eight of Wands. So this is a situation for you Scorpios for you Libras, where there's a lot for you that's changing. There's a lot for you that's changing. What you Libras got going on is things are going right for you, and you don't want to mess it up. You don't want people whom you used to speak with that you don't want coming back to come back. You don't want any of that. You want them to essentially stay away from you, because for you Libras, your life is going so well. You just see these people as risky individuals, people who are going to bring risk to you, that's going to mess things up for you, ruin your life, make it so that, you get back to square one, right? You Libras don't want to make all this progress to making your life a lot better and positioning yourself to where you want it to be, right? Oh, okay. You want it to be, only for you to end up losing all of that because you have an individual that just wants to stand around you and waste your time, leech off of you in the form of friends, in the form of relationships, significant others, even in the form of family, that just want to play like they your friend, but then sabotage you every time they get a chance. Every time they get a chance, they waste your time. Every time they get a chance, they waste your time, all that stuff, right? And so the situation with that is that the Page of Swords and the Three of Wands right here represents how, since that's the case, a lot of you Libras have gotten smarter, like I talked about before. You understand that you have something in your life that's worth fighting for, that's worth actually protecting, and that there's no point in wasting your time trying to get everybody to be on the same page with you. That goes for family, that goes for friends, and that definitely goes for romantic relationships. Because out of all of the three, the romantic relationships is probably going to be the one that knows you the least, considering the fact that, at least at the beginning, considering the fact that you probably have friends prior to that. And of course, you have your family members that you were born with, right? Mom, dad, maybe you have siblings, whomever, right? Cousins, whomever, right? So you understand that you Libras have to protect what's yours. And the Page of Swords and the Three of Wands represents you Libras also understand that you can't afford to like allow your love for them, family and friends, maybe even significant others. I wouldn't necessarily say love, but you wanting to get to know them, you can't allow that to really be in your way, right? To be in a position where it's in your way of you making yourself better. And then you have the Four of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles, right? Because at the end of the day, you Libras are waking up to understand that you have to be able to, and this is also a part of repetition breeding contempt, because on both sides, because you can end up getting angry yourself at how this person is an F up. It always seems like whenever it is that you're hanging around these individuals, they are an F up. They are an F up. They always seem to mess things up. You Libras work yourselves into a good disposition, a good position, and here they are messing things up for the sake of messing it up. And so because of this, the Three of Cups right here represents how a lot of you Libras also understand so you got to be around people whom you care about and whom cares about you, who isn't mess ups. And I'm not saying that you don't care about your family or your significant others or your friends and stuff like this, but at the same time, people that you Libras know that you can trust, because those are the people that you will listen to, you will trust, especially if they're wise. They just don't have an understanding in one area, they have an understanding in many areas. That will most definitely be a position where you Libras will be in a position where you're actually better off. And the reason why you're better off is due to the fact that you Libras, you can trust them, right? Like they're not trying to hope and pray on your downfall or any of that. Or maybe they're not even doing that, but they're so caught up with, I gotta be real and I don't care about what I'm forgetting about, that it is what it is, right? And so then you have the Tower and the Knight of Cups. So the Tower and the Knight of Cups right here represents how you Libras, so you know what this means. You Libras know what this means. It means that you Libras, there is a walking away that's happening where you Libras understand that you can't take certain people seriously. And so you Libras understand that if it's friends and family, the friends and family that you now know that you can't trust, because every time you hang around them or they come around you, it's always something. You Libras know that you can't take them seriously, right? Same thing when it comes to significant others. Okay, you may like them, but if they are a liability to your life, then you will have to separate yourself. There's a level of separation that's going to have to happen between you Libras and the people whom you may like and respect and care about, because you Libras understand that you have to excel. You have to do your own thing, right? Like the best thing for you to do when it comes to people who are dysfunctional or people who are downtrodden or things aren't going well for them is not be one of them. You Libras may have tried your hand with helping them and all this stuff, but then at the same time, this is a situation where for you, it is what it is. For you, you may not like it, but it's something that you Libras will have to do. So let's clarify the Knight of Cups. Ten of Ariel, Six of Gabriel, Three of Gabriel, the Eight of Gabriel, and then you have the Change Your Life, right? So the ten of Ariel, the Six of Gabriel, and the Three of Gabriel right here speaks to how a lot of you are in a situation, right? To clarify the Knight of Cups, this is a situation for you where it represents the other person. And it represents, yes, it represents different situations all at once. It represents you Libras walking away emotionally and being much more emotionally detached from the people whom you still care about, but you can articulate why, right? You have to be detached to a certain extent because even though you may have love for them emotionally, right, because they're your family or your friends or maybe even people whom you may get to know romantically in the future, you Libras understand that it's no good being super attached to them. And the reason why is because when they mess up, specifically the people who are messing up, they are a walking, talking liability instead of an asset. But it also represents how there's, like I said, there's a separation that's happening where you Libras understand that you will have to let them go. Not saying that you'll, specifically friends and family, not saying that you won't see them around and hang out with them, right? But not as much. You'll have to stay away from them. Significant other that's ruining your time, ruining your life, whether they know it or not, you got to excommunicate from them. You're going to have to leave them alone. Whether it's you ghost or whether it's you tell them, you know. And then the things that, like I said, the 10 of Ariel, to clarify it, the 6 of Gabriel and the 3 of Gabriel, right? It represents because you Libras have too much to lose. You've got a good life going for yourself. You got a lot of good stuff happening for you. And so the 6 of Wands and the 3 of Gabriel represents, and now you Libras have an opportunity where things are on the upward trajectory for you. So why exactly is it that you would allow yourself to let a golden opportunity like what you have just slip through your fingers, right? Your life is going well, your health is good, your finances are good, your mental health is good. And why is your mental health good? You don't constantly have to be upset every minute of the day due to the fact that you got to deal with a knucklehead constantly trying to get on your nerves, doing things to get you upset. They're a mess up. They can't seem to be consistent. Every time you think that they're about to turn their life around, they act like they're a moron. They act like they're a complete cocotazo. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that the 8 of Gabriel and the change your life, which is the Tower card, basically represents how yeah, like you Libras understand that it's too much. You have your own worries, you have your own things that you got to think about. So why in the world would you put yourself in a position where you are around them, right? Especially when things are working so well for you. You're not going to take 20 steps back for no reason, right? Yeah, you'll take 20 steps back. Okay, if you take 30 forward, 40 forward, 50 forward, if you can take 50 forward, you may take 20 steps back to take 50 forward. So you'll take 50 forward, 20 for the recovered time that you lost, and 30 moving forward, right? So let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles. The 9 of Michael, the King of Gabriel, the 3 of Ariel, the 7 of Michael, and then you Libras also have the 9 of Raphael to clarify the 10 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Michael, the King of Gabriel, and the 3 of Ariel speaks to how, you know, again, this is something that you Libras worked hard for, studied for, dedicated yourself for, right? Dedicated yourself to. And so you're not just going to stop on the good groove that you Libras have got where things are dialed in. Your health is good. Your mental health is good. You're not always upset. You know what I mean? And that's another reason, too, why it is that I got to be on constant, you know, because of how stupid a lot of people are. You know, when you know, even when it comes to doing this reading, these readings and stuff like this, I meet a lot of incredible people. And they know who they are. I don't have to call names out because it's so many people. But then it's like you'll have some people who are stupid, who are lower than average, who are just dumb. You know, individuals that want to pick a fight with me, but then they're coming to me for help. You know, individuals that you don't have the time for all of that. You don't have the time for all of that. You know, they some idiot a few weeks ago come to me, then the person's husband allegedly, I doubt the person even has a husband, but the person's husband allegedly coming to me, the prices that you have is really expensive. So you telling me between two people you can't afford $35? You need to get a job. Stop worrying about readings because you can't get $35. Stop worrying about readings and get a job if you can, or create one. Find something to do that pays you an income. Because between a married couple, right, the two individuals that make up a married couple, two of y'all can't come together to make $35, $50. You complaining every week to me for $35, $50. But then you going at me, you're calling me names, you're using all kind of lying and all that. That type of stupidity, that's what it is that you Libras are good from. And so why would you now go back to where you are, right? How things are going well, to now go back in the trenches with some, slob, with some idiot, with some goofy that has to call you or reach out to you every week asking you the same thing. Did your prices lower yet? No, you big goofball that acts like you're multiple people sitting up on the internet trying to get, I don't know what. The prices didn't change, goofball. Go and get a job, you freaking bum. You can say whatever it is that you want to about me sitting up on the internet playing these cards. According to you, I still make more money than you. And I did not have to knock anybody over. I didn't have to get it the wrong way. I'm getting it out of the mud. And I'm getting every subscriber, every person that comes to my Instagram page, that stays there, that I don't have 1,000,001 Instagram followers and all that making me into a glorified person. I got less than 200 that can't seem to get to 200. Why? Because every time people fall out, don't like what it is that I have to say, go ahead, get off of social media, block me, all kinds of goofy stuff. You know, if you getting off of social media, fine, that's not a problem. But if you unfollow me, oh, you don't like my style, you goofy. Because you coming up with the reason to have a problem with me. And I can prove it. Because I'm not jealous, nor do I have jealousy or envy in my heart for anybody. And that's why it is that I was saying to you, Libras, this is what you can't go back to. You can't go back to a bunch of idiots. And I'm glad that you Libras figured it out. You figuring out everything that I was telling y'all about when I say abandon your friends. Because sometimes your friends are mess ups. You will love your friends. I loved my friends at some point. But when I started to really realize how much of a mess up they were, all they wanted to do was sit around the campfire, so to speak, the proverbial campfire, and just talk. Chief, that's it. That's literally it. Be upset with me, have a problem for no real reason, stalk me everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, they always seem to be there in the neighborhood specifically. Not everywhere, but in the neighborhood specifically. Everybody is always upset. Everybody's always got pursed lips for some reason. I'm mad. My name is in everybody's mouth every 2 minutes, every other day. What's your problem today? I can't hang around that type of stupidity. So I'm glad that you Libras learn this, because you see it for yourself how stupid some people can be. And that why would you waste your potential because of some idiots? You Libras are going to go make your life better and handle your business. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Peace. Come through and get the readings. The link to that is in the comment section below. It's called a Linktree link.